Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Malamar Games. This is a tournament where we play against a different VGC content creator each week in a different zany format each week. And so last week we took on Brady Smith, former regional champion, in a format where we were only allowed to use Pokemon that evolved via methods that were not level up. So a very limited pool of Pokemon. It was a really fun set, both to team build for and then to play. And we did come out on top, but I definitely recommend that you watch that video if you are interested. We've played against a number of great players and content creators, and we have been running through a gauntlet. I mean, we played against Strider, who has made it to at multiple regionals. We played against Rowan, who made top 32 at Charlotte regionals. And then we played against Brady, and it does not get any easier for us because we are playing against Vancouver regional champion Semprq this week. He was not originally in the league. He got subbed in because someone was not able to play out their sets. And I don't think he does content, but I'll link his Twitter in the description if you want to check him out. He was on our podcast a few weeks ago after he won Vancouver. Really, really great guy, and obviously an incredible player. And so it's not going to be very easy. We just keep getting these top players over and over again. It's going to be a fun week this week as well. I do have the standings up. And so if you want to see like who's doing well, it's Joe is up in first place at 5-0, and then me, Brady, Rowan, Pengy, and Strider are all at 4-1, and then Semprq right behind at 2-2. I don't think he's played his last week, but he's playing Neil, who is actually like decent at Pokemon and is 0-4, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyways, so the names at the top should not surprise you too much because all of them are just incredible players, and it's going to be top 8 for playoffs, so I think one more win should lock us up for playoffs, although obviously the goal is to get the first seed or as high a seed as possible, and maybe dodge Joe for as long as possible because I'd love to play him in finals, and maybe not until then because he's obviously a phenomenal player. And so, this week we have a very fun format. We have Monotype. So you are only allowed to use Pokemon of one type. Of course, those Pokemon can terrestrialize into any type they want to, but you are limited to only using one type of Pokemon on your main team. And so, as a result, we were going through it as we normally do. Me, Nails, Rajan, in this case, Mike D'Angelo also helped out a lot. We were going through what we expected to be some of the best teams, and the two that stood out the most, the two that are the easiest to figure out, I think, are Water and Psychic. So Water has two really powerful combinations. It has the Dondozo Tatsugiri core, where you can, of course, the standard VGC combo, you have to be able to respect it, and that's always true in this format, especially. And so this is probably the skill check. You have to have your Dondozo answer, and this is probably just the single strongest thing you can be doing because it forces out so much counterplay from your opponent. And you also have Rain as a mode, so you can set up Drizzle, not Kenai, don't be Kenai. You can set up Drizzle with your Pelipper, and then either try to abuse that with a Palafin, like we saw at Gavin's Oceania Internet's team, or we can use like Floatzel or Dreadnought or something like that as a Swift Swim abuser. Now, notably, this is Series 1, so you do not have access to the Rune Pokemon or the Paradox Pokemon, so that would probably add a little bit to it, but yeah, you can't. So obviously, with Rune Pokemon, then Dark just becomes the best type, right? Because you just run your Chi-Yu or whatever. But yeah, so none of that stuff. Instead, we are limited to just Series 1 Pokemon, and so Water was already one of the best types in Series 1. Rain and Dondozo were everywhere in Series 1. It should not surprise you that is probably the single best option right now. And then secondly is Psyspam, also very easy to put together with your Psychic Terrain and DD combined with your Armarouge. Lots of other good Psychic types that I definitely have looked at beforehand. I mean, you can see right here, maybe not some of these legendaries, but okay, maybe there aren't a ton of good Psychic types. I mean, Gallade, Hatterene, Gardevoir, Bronzong, the Slows, Oranguru, Gothitelle. There's a few good Pokemon. Esparta is definitely a legitimate option. Rabsca, Metacham. So you definitely got a few good Psychic types to go with your Indeedee Armarouge core. But I think these are the two that people are going to default to in this league, just because they are the easiest to build or the easiest to figure out. But there are some other cool options that we looked at. And so first and foremost, Hale was also viable in Series 1. We saw James Evans come on the channel and talk about how he got to top 8 at San Diego Regionals using an Abomasnow Titan team. So I definitely wouldn't be surprised if someone tried to abuse Slush Rush Titan with the Abomasnow. You also, of course, get access to Baxcalibur, which is one of the strongest individual Pokemon in the entire metagame. As of course a pseudo legendary, 600 base stat total. Speaking of pseudo legendaries, you can just run a bunch of them with Dragon, right? And just say I'm going to have all of the stats, and you have a inbuilt Tatsugiri, an inbuilt answer to Dondozo Tatsugiri in your own Tatsugiri with Storm Drain, which can maybe Terra to redirect attacks away, Terra with Storm Drain to redirect water type attacks away from Dondozo, while maybe being immune to Order Up with a Terra Fairy or something. And so you do have some counterplay. Obviously, Hydreigon can run like Scope Lens, for example. That would also be some decent counterplay to Dondozo, and then you resist all the water attacks, and you maybe don't have the best Psy Spam response, but you do have a Hydreigon. So like, I think this is definitely viable. I think Ice is viable. I think Grass is low-key kind of viable. We didn't really fully build this out, but there's really no Spore counterplay, right? Like, who's going to run Safety Goggles in this format when no one expects Grass to be real? And you still have access to Meowscarada, which was one of the highest usage Pokemon in Series 1. But then you also just have Amoonguss and Breloom as ways to spread sleep. And if you're not running Goldengo and you're not running Grass types, then it's going to be really hard to avoid getting put to sleep. So I do think Grass is pretty viable. Of course, also has a pretty good water matchup, you got to imagine. But we are running none of these. Instead, we're running Dark. So Dark is, I think, obviously I could have run Psychic, I could have run Water. I think realistically, Water is probably the best type to run because your opponent has to dedicate so much counterplay to it. But Dark is very fun, and you can see all 6 of these Pokemon have just seen a ton of success in VGC. They're all really, really good Pokemon. They all are really bulky. They all have a lot of stats, except for Meowscarada and Murkrow, but Murkrow has an Eviolite. And so your Pokemon just get to do so much, and more importantly, you have a good matchup into the top 2, in theory. Psy Spam obviously should be pretty bad into your team of 6 Dark types when they can't actually ever click a Psychic move into you. And then Dondozo is pretty bad into Specs Hydreigon. You're just taking a lot from Draco Meteor, and you ignore the special attack drops. The Meowscarada obviously has Flower Trick to crit through any boosts. The Grimmsnarl can Parting Shot through... we don't have Parting Shot. Never mind. The Grimmsnarl exists. It can click set up Reflect. And the Murkrow has Haze. So you have a lot of counterplay. And I think primarily you're going to be using the Murkrow and Meowscarada to power through Dondozo. And so I just have those options. Also, Sunny Day on Murkrow allows you to set the weather. Tyranitar also can set weather. And so you have a lot of counterplay to rain as well. And so this is why I picked this team. It feels like a really strong anti-meta pick. Obviously, Semprq could roll up with something else, but I think that we have counterplay to everything else as well, just because we are using 6 of the best Pokemon in VGC in general. And so the Pokemon themselves, I don't think there's a lot of thought put into the EV spreads. You just, max speed Hydreigon, just get to click attacks. It's one of the strongest Pokemon in the game, one of the biggest threats in Series 1, and probably, just one of the biggest damage dealers we have. Similarly, we have Tyranitar that can also just is choice banded and can click a bunch of attacks. We got speed control with Murkrow. Hazing away Draco Meteor drops is also very cool. So we really can just throw off those Draco Meteors, bring in Murkrow, click Haze, and click another Draco Meteor, and nothing really takes 1, much less 2 of those things, so we can nuke things that way. And then the Meowscarada and King Gambit are also just 2 huge threats. And King Gambit just has way too many stats. And there's a lot of flex slots that you can run, but Kowtow, Sucker, and Ironhead are pretty much a given on the Assault sets. And I don't know if there's a fantastic 4th move because you don't really want to commit to terraing it to run the 4th move. So Brick Break is there because screens are pretty viable, all things considered, with Klefki, Grimmsnarl, both pretty good Pokemon. And then Meowscarada just hit things hard again. Flower Trick, Overgrow, if you go down to Sash, means it does a ton of damage, more than usual. You don't want to run Protean because you already get stab on both your moves. And then Knockoff and Sucker are fantastic. Could be U-turn, but I don't think the team actually wants to pivot. I think the team just kind of wants to hit hard, go fast. But if you don't want to hit hard, go fast, you can also set up screens, play a little bit of a slower game because King Gambit, Tyranitar, Hydreigon all have a ton of stats, and with screens up are going to be really hard to KO. So, all things considered, not a ton of thought into the pretty standard stats, rather. It's not like we were running anything super crazy off the wall. Murkrow is max bold because, again, it's mostly there for rain, and all the Swift Swim users are physical attackers, and so you can Sunny Day in front of them, and Dondozo is also a physical attacker, and you can Haze away boost, so you can switch in, and unless they are max Adamant, you always live a Wave Crash, and if they are max Adamant, they only have a 25% chance to KO. Similarly, you can, if they go Choice Band, Terra Water, Palafin, they do not KO. They have a 6% chance to KO this Murkrow in rain, and so you can survive that and set up a Sunny Day and try to counteract it that way. And so there's a lot of water types specifically that you want the Murkrow for, although obviously it is going to be pretty important if they have any sort of speed control on their team as well. So that's kind of the recap of the team. Going to be taken on Semprq again, who's just a really, really incredible player. Known for running Sun, but I don't think that's super viable. I don't know. Maybe he'll make it. Maybe he'll make it work. Maybe he'll run Scoville and Torkoal like his and try to recreate the magic of Lilligant. I don't think he will, but yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to see what he's going to roll up with. And if we get this win, we pretty much lock up playoffs, which would be really, really huge. So let's jump into it. All right, we are ready to go. And so I do have his Terra types, but it's not surprising to see him on Rain. So we see the Palafin, Dindozo. Palafin is water, Dozo is grass, Tats is water, Pelipper is grass, Dreadnought is grass, Gyarados is flying. So, just all the powerful Rain Pokemon here. And we have a bunch of options that we can go for. So, let's see. So obviously the Murkrow's coming, right? That's the Dindozo counterplay. We don't have Fake Out. I think that, maybe we should bring Grimmsnarl with Fake Out so we can really stop that. But notably, almost exclusively physical attackers outside of the Pelipper and the Tatsugiri. So that's another option, but as a way to withstand an offensive onslaught, I would say. I would imagine Tyranitar is slower than a lot of his Pokemon too. So I'm not sure if I want Tyranitar or not because it is quite good. But I think I want Hydreigon, I want Meowscarada. Meowscarada seems really safe on lead, so does Hydreigon. I think I'm going to lead Hydreigon. Don't know what his punish to lead Hydreigon is. I kind of want to go Grim, Meow, Murkrow, and then game 2 switch it up and bring the Kingambit to punish a Gyarados. I don't think he brings Gyarados game 1. This seems pretty decent, I think. I probably should have thought about this matchup a little more. I was just like, he could very easily bring Rain. We have counterplay. The awkward part is that obviously you don't really want to lead a Murkrow into a lot of this stuff because you need to keep it around for Dindozo. Although that being said, I think Meow Hydreigon might just be able to power through Dindozo. Anyways, maybe not if it's in a Rain. Rain boosted Dindozo does go kind of crazy. We do just see a Palafin and a Dreadnought, so he definitely has the potential to hard swap out and start clicking his big damage buttons. But I think that, every time I see Dreadnought, I think it's going to Dynamax because it's a Gen 8 Pokemon. I wish I knew a Calc too. I kind of want to just Draco, honestly. What if I just Draco Reflect, that seems pretty safe. What's it going to do about it, What's it going to do? He might Flip Turn. I guess he's probably allowed to run Flip Turn. I do think you run Haze in this format because, this is sort of a Palafin format, but, sort of a Dozo format, but, maybe not respecting the mirror, maybe just saying that you're going to win the mirror by, clicking your own Dindozo buttons. But yeah, here comes the Pelipper, so this Dreadnought going to be moving first. And notably, this means he does not have Dindozo of his own. Rock Slide chunking me and not flinching, so we are getting this fat Draco off, and we are getting the KO. So that's really good. I guess the question is, do I want to click Light Screen here, or do I want to try to just click Spirit Break, get that less damage from this Pelipper coming out? But, I'll take what I can get here. There's a Gyarados coming in, so he did in fact have... Interesting. So I wonder, I could hard pivot Grimmsnarl out into the Murkrow. The Murkrow would go down to a double tap, which is a little awkward. I can Thunder Wave Gyarados. It might be Lumberry, but I guess we kind of just have to find that out the hard way sometimes. But if I go well, I don't actually want the Hydreigon in, right? And so I can go... He has to Terra. He doesn't have to Terra. I can just click Water Moves. This is a little awkward. The Hydreigon is in an awkward spot now. And having Parting Shot would actually be kind of cool here. Let's go for a Draco and a Spirit Break into this Pelipper. How about that? Just kind of get rid of it. And we do see that we are faster than pretty much anything else, which is not too surprising. That did about as much damage as I would expect. Here's a Dragon Dance, so obviously a little spooky because we don't have damage mitigation for that, but I think that it would not shock me if Meowscarada managed to clean up. And a Hydro Pump, we are dodging it with Grimmsnarl, which is also really, really nice, and Spirit Break going to come out and reduce the damage output from this Pelipper, even though it doesn't outright KO. I don't think that this Pelipper is going to be a huge threat now. I think we can pretty safely ignore it. And so what I want to do is I want to go into Pelipper, I think. Do I want to KO the Pelipper here? I can go into... I can just Draco Meteor it and Thunder Wave the Gyarados and try to get 2 Thunder Waves off to go first. Going first with Meowscarada is actually really important, so I think that's pretty good. If I have to take 2 Thunder Waves, I have to take 2 Thunder Waves. It shouldn't be a huge deal. And so there comes a Pelipper, so I guess really wanting to preserve the ability to set Rain up, which does make sense because, yeah, it's kind of important for him. Time to find out if he's a Lumberry on this dude. Because I really do want my Meowscarada to outspeed it. I think that's going to be really important. No Lumberry. I do miss a Draco, but that's not a big deal because we are at -4. And we get the full para. Okay, then. All right. Let's see here. I'm curious as to how much Flower Trick is expected to do. Although it is obviously, I think it's Terra Flying, so we're not actually going to be able to get that off too safely here. But let's see. I'm going to try to switch into Murkrow. I think that I should be able to take any one attack. And then I kind of want to get a Thunder Wave off. Just another Thunder Wave off. It's just value. I don't know Spirit Break is doing a ton at -1. I have -1, right? Okay, I was going to say, like, this wasn't Moxie. I didn't miss it. Let's just get a Thunder Wave off. This is the strength of Grimmsnarl, right? You just get turned sometimes. Yep. Yo, it's just that easy. I'm so good at Pokemon. Oh, it's insane. Okay. Let's go ahead and click Sunny Day. Obviously, we just have that at our disposal, and then we can go pivot back into the Hydreigon somewhat safely. I could have clicked Haze. I could have gotten rid of the Gyarados' boosts, but I kind of want to click Haze this turn. So Gyarados obviously kind of locked into water attacks. I don't know if the Pelipper has a non-water attack. Sorry, the Palafin has a non-water attack. But we're tanking that pretty easily. And here's a Waterfall, which we also should tank quite easily. But yeah, obviously getting very, very fortunate here. The Palafin is Terra Water, so it loses to the... it just hard loses to the Meowscarada in back. And as a result, I want to... I'm just going to play Sunny Day again when they switch the Pelipper in. I'm going to Draco this Gyarados and try to pick it up that way. Yeah, okay. Because I maybe go... If they Terra Water, I maybe go down to a Jet Punch, which I don't really want. So Sunny Day just kind of guarantees it. Actually, that's not true because they go first. Yes, okay, never mind. But I do lock them in, which is kind of nice. I honestly, I might go down to this Jet Punch with Hydreigon, which should be a little spookier than going down with the Murkrow. Murkrow is fine because I kind of just win. But no, I'm actually... Oh, right, I Thunder Wave them. I'm faster. Yes, of course. I knew that. This was all part of the plan. I definitely didn't just realize that the Thunder Wave made me faster with Murkrow. This is actually a really important interaction that I'm going to have to remember for Game 2. And it doesn't matter because they got fully paralyzed. But this Grimmsnarl really just being the MVP of this set. And now, yeah, the Gyarados was at +1 and now neutral. And also, I think actually, now that I say it, we have the Reflect up, so I think that we probably would have lived an attack with the Hydreigon, even though there's Terra Water, even if it wasn't paralyzed. And now, of course, we just get to go for Haze. We get to go for a Draco Meteor into this Gyarados, and the game should be over. I love it. I love it. Normally, when you see a Palafin unterastalized, unhero form, it's because you just won the game and you stomped them with Palafin. You'd love to see it on the other side of the field after you win. That's just a very vindicated feeling when they forfeit with a hero form Palafin on the field. Obviously, you know, we did get 4 full paralysis in that game. We did just, you know, all of the bad luck that came out of the GC, all of the bad luck that came out of any tournament that I've played in is just kind of, I've saved it all for the set against Semprq, where I'm gonna need it the most. And so, anyways, sorry, dude. What am I supposed to say to that? That was a little stupid. All right, so they didn't see the last. But the last is pretty obviously Masquerada. I don't even hate like bringing Meow here. I guess the question is, where do you think the focus sash is? And the answer is probably the Pelipper, right? Meow is like a pretty safe lead too, honestly. Murkrow in back was pretty good. What if I just throw damage out? No, I actually really like setting up a screen. Setting up a screen is clutch. What if I just do the same thing? What if I just do the same thing? I didn't get a flinch on a rock slide, and that could have been a little bad. And Grimmsnarl, honestly, obviously won me the set in that it got a bunch of Thunderwave paras, and Thunderwaving the Palafin was actually really huge. But there's a decent argument that it was like a negative tempo. It just kind of put me in a position where I wasn't able to switch out very safely because I didn't have a safe switch out. So in that case, maybe I want the King Gambit instead of Hydreigon. Well, Hydreigon was really good. Hydreigon's a water resist. I kind of need it. What if I'm just gonna do the same thing. I could go Meow. I could lead Meow and take advantage of the like Palafin's negative tempo. I like that. Actually, yeah, I like that. Let's do that. I think his goal is in fact going to be keep the Grimmsnarl on the field as long as possible, right? Doesn't have parting shots, so it can't switch out, and it is just kind of sitting there doing nothing. Although Thunder Wave, again, is a scary move. It does have some amount of inevitability with its... he sent me a "oh well played" on Discord. Some amount of inevitability with Thunder Wave, right? You give it enough turns, it is going to get those full paralyses. And so here, let's see. You think he goes into Dozo here? I can Light Screen this turn. I don't think Reflect is needed, and I can just Flower Trick, and I probably Flower Trick the Palafin, right? If he goes for like, he can't go for the flip turn play, so he has to hard switch to Dozo if he wants to keep it. So I like this play. Yeah, just hard withdrawing Palafin. If it's going into Dozo, then he just lost a ton of momentum. No, it's Pelipper, which is fair. He is getting an attack off here, but I am setting up Light Screen, so I should be able to take an attack. If it's a Draco Meteor, then maybe not. But a Water attack, obviously, this Masquerada with Light Screen up should be okay to take it. And in fact, it's not Scarf, which means it's probably Sash. That did nothing. That's a bulky set. Okay, but Light Screen means I don't actually need to even switch out here, right? So I can Spirit Break this Tatsugiri pretty safely. I have Protect, right? Yeah, okay, I have Protect. So I think I'm going to Protect. There's an argument to get a Reflect up, but I think I'm going to do that next turn. I don't think Grimmsnarl goes down to a double up. And if the Tatsugiri doesn't die, then I get to do it later, which is good. I can Terra Grass to KO this Pelipper, which I think could be okay, but again, I'm going to wait for a turn. If he goes for Tailwind, it's a little awkward, obviously. Here's a Taunt, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't stop me from clicking Reflect, which is a little awkward, but I'm not in an awful spot. And there's a Hurricane. And I think that, you know, a -1 Light Screen boosted Masquerada is probably going to be able to live an attack. And so what I can do is I can just go for the Spirit Break here while I'm at -1. I mean, I can also switch out. I could switch out into Murkrow and try to start getting the momentum back because this Grimmsnarl is in an awkward spot, but I don't really want to... But I can also just KO the Pelipper. I think taking 2 KOs is going to be worth it. So we're going to Spirit Break. And we're going to Terra Grass Flower Trick. And just kind of OHKO this Pelipper. I think that I live a Draco. -1 special attack, plus light screen. Muddy Water did a chunk, but obviously it was in rain too, so plus we have miss odds. I think I'm okay if I take 2 KOs here. I just get to play a 4v1 with speed control. Well, not really speed control, but let's see. The Muddy Water coming out, dodging the Grimmsnarl dodging, which is it's okay. We'll take it, you know. And then here's a Spirit Break, just picking up the second KO. I do really want Grimmsnarl to go down. We'll see if he brought the Dozo. He might just not have brought Dozo. This is 2 turns of rain. It might have been Damp Rock Pelipper. If you told him, honestly, Damp Rock does make a lot of sense. And now here we see a Dreadnought. And let's see, Palafin. Yeah, okay. So Meow obviously not taking a double up, but also not going down to a single attack, I think. It might. This is maybe a very aggressive time to switch Murkrow in. But then again, if I think that Meow is living a Terra Water, it's not. It's just not. Switching in Murkrow is so aggressive here. But he surely just avoid. Well, no, he's gonna Rock Slide. Let's go Hydra, and let's Protect. And then next turn, we can switch Grim in, sack the Grim, and attack. So here's the Terra Water. We still have Sucker Punch if we need to. If we need to sack him on, we can always say I'm Sucker Punching the Dreadnought and like Dracoing the Dreadnought, which maybe gets there. Here's a Jet Punch into this slot. If this KOs, this is also like fantastic for us. Ice Spinner. Interesting. Okay. Notably, we also do live a Jet Punch from this. Yeah, we live a Jet Punch. We won't live an Ice Spinner. But Hydreigon living a Jet Punch is really good to know. How do I want to do this? I think I'm supposed to sack Grim this turn. I'd be sacking 2. Would Meowscarada and Sun get there? Maybe not. So then I want the... I think I want to do this then. Here's a Jet Punch. Going before I'm Meowscarada, so it's like max speed Palafin, is that right? Am I not max speed Meow? I am... Hold up. How did that happen? Did I miss a Tailwind or something? So now what I can do is I can Tailwind turn 1 to live a... I can Reflect, and if they give me the Reflect, that's great. Or I can switch to Hydreigon and Sunny Day. Or I can switch to Hydreigon, Tailwind, and then Sunny Day. We saw the Murkrow went first in Tailwind. Let's go for the Reflect. If we get the Reflect up, we're in a great spot. And then we got a Tailwind. Or we Sunny Day because they say they're doubling the Murkrow. Sure, let's go for Sunny just in case they double. Yeah, we take that like a champ. Sunny Day plus Reflect might just be enough to live an attack from whatever. But I do think that, no! Oh, he didn't target the Murkrow! Oh, he didn't KO a Pokemon. Now this becomes awkward. The Palafin is not a threat. I mean, it's a threat in that it still does damage, but it's not a threat in the Dreadnought is the threat, I guess, is what I'd say. So I want to Thunder Wave it so it doesn't move. And then I guess I start chunking it with Foul Play. So Jet Punch is going to pick up this Grim, probably. Yeah, so I don't think the crit mattered. We're just going to see if this Hydreigon can kind of solo. Ice Spinner probably should pick up as well. Yeah. So I don't know if Hydreigon's going to get there. I might have made a mistake by not keeping the Meowscarada around, but I just did not see a line to get it to where I needed it to be. Just going to see if there's any chance that this what's it called, Dreadnought goes down to one attack. Does not go down to a Dark Pulse. It does go down to Draco, so we're just clicking Draco. This Palafin does not have a coverage move. It just doesn't get to do any damage. Let's see how much this does. This should be wave crashing, honestly. That's 17. So we need to 3-shot. We're not faster, so we need to 2-shot. Because they can go Jet Punch, Wave Crash. And there goes Light Screen. We never got Reflect Up. There's also a problem. So maybe that was my fault. I got a little greedy trying to get the 2v4. Also 17. That's close. 2 more Dracos should get there. 1 more will not, obviously. We also have to hit both of them. This is very, very close. 36. Wave Crash is... This is very, very close. Oh, okay. Wave Crash is going to get there because the sun is gone. Oh, he's Choice Banded. He must be Choice Banded, right? That KOs? I mean, I guess it does double damage, but like, I was at 36, and he was doing 17 every time. So he must have gotten a high roll there. But I don't even know if the Draco picked up from there, because we would have been at... No, we were at -6. We wouldn't have dropped anymore. No, sorry. We went from -4 to -6 that turn. So we also might have been in a roll range. The difference between a -4 and -6 is pretty negligible. It's only like... That can't have been Choice Banded. Can it? Like, okay, so surely you go for Wave Crash. Also, how did he outspeed Meowscarada? How? I'm actually very confused. Choice Scarf, maybe? No, because then he would have outsped the Pelipper last game. The Murkrow last game. I need to check my Meowscarada to make sure that it has, like, stats. Yeah. He didn't have Tailwind up, right? Did I miss something? Did I not go for Sucker Punch? Maybe I misclicked. Gotta rewatch that. I'm very confused. I miss Mega Tyranitar. I miss being able to just Mega it and do as I please. King Gambit maybe just has the bulk to do something. If he... Why did he keep clicking Jet Punch? Is he choiced, or is he just not revealing information? Okay, this time I know. This time I'm going to click Reflect. He has Taunt, which is a little spooky. He's not Scarf either. I'm going to keep Meow intact, I think, and kind of do the same thing. Just in case he brings Dozo, King Gambit might be a good bring, but I do really like these four. Forcing him to bring Tats to click Taunt is still pretty like high value, I think. If I can switch out the Grim, and I might just switch it out really aggressively. Now we still didn't see the Sash, but you got to imagine the Sash is on the Tatsugiri and not the Pelipper, given the way he's been playing it. And so I think I'm okay with calling him for Draco. Not that I can really punish a Draco here. I can punish it in that I can... Huh. There's no reason for me to Draco, right? Because he's just in range of everything anyway, so I might as well Dark Pulse. Can I just Terra Water? So yeah, get that light screen up. I get to reflect up next turn. I don't get to be greedy this time. We have flinch odds too. We could para-flinch him. Let's go. It's just that easy, folks. It's just that easy. Gonna go for a Spirit Break into Pelipper. I can get Reflect up next turn if I need to. Because he can't stop me from clicking Dark Pulse into Tats again. There's our Protect. So we see Protect, Muddy Water, Taunt. No Draco yet, but that's fine. Dark Pulse into Protect, that's fine. He could Tailwind, but I can Thunder Wave into Dark Pulse then. There's a Hurricane. It's a crit. And the Confusion. Alright, alright. Starting to balance itself out a little bit. I will be clicking Reflect this turn, just in case. Because this is just good damage into whatever he has in back. He doesn't have a Dark Resist here. And there's the Dondozo. Interesting. So this is also just very, very good damage into Dozo. That is good to know. So he has Pelipper, Palafin, Dozo, Tats. You got the crit into Confusion. You know, I'm not allowed to complain about hacks this game. I'm really not allowed to complain about hacks this game. So now I only have one damage dealer, which is a little awkward here. But I do get to go Meow. And then I have to just immediately like switch into the what's it called? The dude. Or I go for a Spirit Break Protect. I think I like that play better because I want the Pelipper to be in range of a Terra Grass attack. And it's not at the moment. And with Reflect up, I guess Reflect does not. It counteracts. You know, it does counteract Rain. Rain is +1. So then the Murkrow is going to be able to undo it. I think he actually should switch Pelipper out. Now that I think about it, yeah, he has to switch Pelipper out. So I was supposed to hard switch to Murkrow. Murkrow should live in attack, but now I have to switch in the Murkrow for the Meowscarada to keep it alive, and that's a little awkward. Unless he KOs the Grim. KOing the Grim would be pretty cool. That was a greedy play on my end. I should have made the read. He's Terraing. Interesting. What's his Terra on this guy? Terra Grass? Sure, actually that makes it kind of hard to KO, right? There's the Wave Crash. So this is some recoil. Would have loved it for it to pick up the KO there. That's actually a little awkward that it didn't. I think Thunder Wave is better odds than not. And then we do switch in the Murkrow here. That's actually really good. Actually really good. So we know presumably Protect. So now we want to probably Haze Protect or Sunny Day Protect. I could go for Terra on Murkrow. Guarantee it sticks around. By Haze, I start getting damage off, which is pretty good. It's still safer to protect Meow. Sunny Day is more value here. I lied. Haze is more value here. Because Haze allows me to take an order up potentially, which is a little better. They actually they're camping order up. They're plus defense, dude. It's the okay. Sunny Day would have been better. Doesn't super matter, but they can't actually order up this turn because they are the plus defense Tatsugiri, so I don't actually care if they do. There's a Terra Blast into the Protect. So we see Earthquake, Terra Blast. Yeah, so he's not supposed to in closed team sheet be this dude, but he is. So you know. And then we probably click Sunny Day because the Rain move is the most damage. But yeah, let's click Sunny Day. The goal is to get the KO onto the Dozo with Knock, and then or Flower Trick or whatever. That's not going to KO. Chesto Bear. Oh, the Chesto Rest. That's awkward. Well, they can undo the paralysis, which is always a thing that they can do. How do I want to approach this? I can protect Foul Play to try to put them back in knock range, but I don't think it actually gets there. I can attack with Meow, but I think they've like identified that Meow is not the threat. I can Tailwind to put myself in a better position when this guy goes down. So I can Sunny Day first. Okay, I think I do need to end up with Tailwind up, but I think I'm going to protect Foul Play first. If they go for Rest, they go for Rest. If they go for Rest, they don't have a chest of berries, so they gotta they gotta wait it out anyways. There's the Rest, that's fine. So they got 2 turns of sleep now. Dozo with no item. Hold on. I just need to know whether knockoff does more. And if they Terra. So, knockoff is the highest damage move other than Sucker Punch. We get 1 Sucker Punch off. We're going to knock off, we're going to Foul Play on the first turn. That did not do enough. Maybe he gets there. We're going to Sucker Punch, and we're going to Tailwind on the second turn. Because this has slightly more, and he made the misplay of not going for Rest again like he's supposed to. There goes Reflect, which is also awkward. And then we're going to knock off and Foul Play, because apparently we never get the KO otherwise. So we didn't manage to spit out enough damage to KO it through and KO the Tetsugiri the same turn, which is actually very awkward, especially since the Sonic just expired. We can still reset the sun, and we probably should like aggressively reset the sun. It may truly come down to a if we have light screen up. No, we don't. Right? We don't. So we can protect and foul play. Ah, it didn't KO. And he doubled it. Okay. You read it. Oh, yeah, so we would have gone down anyways. Rip. Yeah, I mean, if I'd Sunny Day'd, I would have had a 50-50 shot of living. And then I could have put the Pelipper in range of a second flower trick. But foul play not picking up really made this so much harder. And let's go for a knock. Let's get a crit. Yeah, no crit. There's the Damp Rock like we kind of expected. And here's a Draco. And the Hurricane can't miss, so we are going to lose this one. Yeah, good games to Semprq. Like I said, even with all this Dondozo counterplay, Dondozo is still probably the best thing you can be doing. I think there was probably a way for us to... I mean, obviously we get like locked him out of game 1, and it was not very close. I think there's probably a way to win game 2, where we... Yeah, I think there's probably a way to win game 2. And I just didn't see the line. But like, I definitely think that there was a way there that I just like... It involved like mapping out the last 3 turns and giving me 5 minutes, and I can probably do it. Give me 45 seconds, and I can't. But yeah, he played really well. Built a very powerful team. And so good games. Again, I'll link his Twitter in the description down below. We got 2 more weeks. And again, 1 more win. And I think we're locked in for playoffs. So it should be fun for sure. And yeah. Until next time, I will catch you all later.